Good morning, you guys. Almost good afternoon in sunny Southern California. It's going to be a nice day today, even though I'm not going to do much today. I'm going to do some chores and then take a nap and take it easy. Me and my cat, Lazy Bones, that is, while my wife goes out and gets some fruits and vegetables. And then she'll probably come home and relax with us. Just not a whole lot going on. We're not weekend warriors by any stretch. We don't take delight in getting caught up in the crowds and the traffic and the chaos that typically occurs on the weekends when everybody is off work and they got to run around town like crazy, shopping and taking care of errands and taking care of all the things that they put off during the week. We like to do the opposite, just so you guys will know, and just so you guys will understand. Those of you who are, who claim your sovereignty through Bitcoin and crypto investments overall, you don't have to do the same things that the working people do. When it's a weekend, you take it easy. When during the week, we can go out and about, shopping, running errands, eating stuff in our faces, whatever, without worrying so much about the humongous crowds and such that everybody else has to worry about. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. I ran across a pretty good article, which we're going to talk about in a second, which I think really reiterates everything that we've been saying as far as the Bitcoin maximalists. And those of us who are serious about the cryptocurrency industry, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, we're covering health and fitness. Going to be put in there, gene splicing, genetic engineering, the future of DNA, testing and such. You name it, it's covered. GMOs, you want to know about holistic, Ayurvedic, homeopathic remedies and cures and treatments. Go there and learn about that as well. If you can't tell, if you didn't know, we're big advocates of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency industry. We have integrated Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash into our website, and we want you guys to take advantage of these payment choices or alternatives. Use your Bitcoin Cash, use your Litecoin, use your various crypto investments on our website. And for you crypto millionaires, take advantage of the opportunity to where you can purchase these things on our website. If you're a crypto millionaire, and a lot of you know as well as I do, we did very well for ourselves 4 or 5 years ago. Prices were very, very cheap as far as purchasing these cryptocurrencies, so we know a lot of you like us are doing just fine. So spread the wealth, and let's get away from Visa. Let's get away from MasterCard or American Express. We don't want to pay money to the bloodsuckers and the rent seekers. We don't need the discount fees, the service fees, the batch fees, settlement fees, all of these miscellaneous fees that they make up on a daily basis just to prevent us from achieving any modicum of financial stability. Okay, that's what it's designed for. That's what they're trying to do. Trying to suck as much financial resources out of the system as possible to keep us all down and keep their pockets nice and fat. What else? Oh yeah, the website is completely redesigned. Looks good. I think it works fine. We're integrating new features and improvements all the time. But I think we're pretty much caught up. So go there and do your shopping, do your perusing, do your reading, and get your education on. By the way, at our website. Let's see what else. Okay, let's take a look at the article. I'm just going to frame this really quickly so we can put everything into proper context. The reason why us Bitcoin advocates are so adamant about promoting Bitcoin and the crypto industry overall, we don't like centralization. We don't like censorship. We don't like the idea that money should be able to freely flow from one person to another, one continent to another. We don't understand, and we don't want to have anything to do with someone saying, if it's over $10,000, fill out this form, comply with these regulations. Explain to us what are you doing. Explain to us who you're sending it to. Explain to us what your organization's all about. What are your intentions, on the receiving end, on the transmitting end. For a lot of us, that doesn't make sense, and that's just a lot of convoluted bureaucratic madness that has been injected into the system. And again, it's all designed to keep the poor poor, keep the wealthy wealthy. Okay, as I've already illustrated in articles, many articles on my website. If you're a big banker, if you're HSBC, if you're Bank of America, if you're Wells Fargo, if you're Citibank, you get away with murder. If you're UBS, you get away with murder. You don't have to worry about adhering to all these rules and regulations. You just do the crime, make your billions of dollars, pay your little slap on the wrist fine. You don't even have to admit guilt or anything. You just pay a small fine, a fraction of what you made in your illicit activities. If it's money laundering, it doesn't matter. If it's bribery, it doesn't matter. If you're a big bank, if you belong to the financial old boys network, you get away with it. If not, then you don't get away with it. That's as simple as it is. Today's article, by the way, let's get into the article. This article is entitled PayPal Bans Alex Jones and InfoWars. Again, PayPal bans Alex Jones and InfoWars. Alex Jones can add PayPal Holdings Incorporated to the list of companies ending ties to the conspiracy theorists and his InfoWars website for hateful and intolerant behavior. The payments company said Friday in a blog post that it will no longer offer its services to InfoWars and related websites. PayPal processes transactions such as credit card payments for websites and apps. We undertook an extensive review of the InfoWars website. Let's see. Where was I? Okay, we went. Okay, we under. Okay, just 1 second, you guys. Okay, where does it go? We undertook an extensive review of the InfoWars sites and found instances that promoted hate and discriminatory intolerance against certain communities and religions that run counter to our core value of inclusion. The payments company said, "We believe that hatred and discrimination have no place in our democratic society, and we do not support this conduct." PayPal joins a variety of other technology companies, including Apple Incorporated, Facebook Incorporated, Google's YouTube and Twitter Incorporated, in banning Jones and InfoWars from their platforms, saying he promotes hate speech, bullying, and harassment. Jones is known for spreading false allegations such as that the 2012 mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut was a hoax. InfoWars shot back on its website, writing that the ban represents nothing less than a political ploy designed to financially sabotage. PayPal is giving the site 10 business days to switch payment processors before its services will be terminated. PayPal took similar actions in August 2017 to stop processing payments for groups associated with the hate march in Charlottesville, Virginia. The San Jose, California-based company declined further comment on its action against InfoWars. We want to put this in the proper context, mainly because, see, we in the Bitcoin space, again, you guys, we understand that payment processors, credit card companies, the MasterCards and the Visas and the other credit card issuers, whenever someone is processing payments for you, these are middlemen who would definitely get in between you and the products and services that you have to offer and your customers. They will tell you, by way of their monopolies, that you cannot sell this, you cannot say this, you cannot write this, you cannot do certain things, otherwise they will terminate your accounts. So in the Bitcoin space, believe it or not, the reason why we talk about censorship resistance is because of this very reason. If Alex Jones with his InfoWars websites, if they were taking Bitcoin and had converted most of their business over to Bitcoin-related transactions versus PayPal-based, they wouldn't have this problem. There would be absolutely no one that could censor their free speech. In other words, I would be able to donate all the money I wanted to InfoWars and Alex Jones, and I don't even like Alex Jones or InfoWars. Conspiracy-related websites and websites are operations that are just basically designed to shock and awe with all sorts of insightful allegations and unfounded claims or whatever. I'm not into that at all. What I am into is free speech. See, when you have free speech, you have a lot of freedom. This country was founded on the idea that freedom is one of the things that we tolerate, supposedly, and you can't judge, someone's speech against the other guy's speech, one painting against the other guy's painting, one sculpture against the other guy. Those are forms of free speech. Even money is free speech. When politicians when they receive millions of dollars from PAC organizations or political action committees, that's a form of speech. You give your money to a politician, they go out and they talk about the things that they think are important to their constituents. That's a form of free speech. That's protected by the Constitution. Even the Supreme Court has already ruled on that particular issue. So, again, free speech comes with a lot of trade-offs, and it's a tremendous responsibility for any nation. But if you have it embedded in your Constitution, then you're supposed to have that constitutional right no matter what. But as we can tell, and we'll go into some further article, we'll go into another article that demonstrates what happens when people are allowed to block your free speech as compared to the other guys. December 4th, 2012, PayPal bans donations to WikiLeaks. The online payment service PayPal suspended the account used by WikiLeaks to collect donations. The decision follows the publication of by WikiLeaks of thousands of leaked U.S. embassy cables. WikiLeaks accused PayPal, which is based in America, of bowing to U.S. government demands to withdraw its service. PayPal is one of several methods that enables WikiLeaks to receive donations and finance its operations. On Wednesday, Amazon ended an agreement to host WikiLeaks, forcing the website to switch to a Swiss internet address on Friday. It had also been dropped by another U.S. internet service provider. In a posting on WikiLeaks' Twitter page, the website announced PayPal bans WikiLeaks after U.S. government pressure. Now, I just want to remind you guys that WikiLeaks, they suffered a tremendous blow as a result of PayPal blocking those payments and banning them. But also because a lot of people were able to send Bitcoin to WikiLeaks early on, WikiLeaks actually benefited tremendously when those Bitcoins went up in value. So not only did they circumvent this attempt by PayPal to block them, they also made out very, very well because, again, a lot of that Bitcoin was purchased or sent over to WikiLeaks at very, very cheap pricing as compared to what it eventually became, what it was worth after a number of years. So moving right along. A statement on the PayPal site said PayPal has permanently restricted the account used by WikiLeaks due to a violation of the PayPal acceptable use policy, which states that our payment service cannot be used for any activities that encourage, promote, facilitate, or instruct others to engage in illegal activity. We've notified the account holder of this action. The internet publisher directed users to www.wikileaks.ch after the wikileaks.org site on which it had published classified U.S. government information vanished from for about 6 hours. PayPal General Counsel John Mueller said, while the account will remain restricted, PayPal will release all remaining funds in the account to the foundation that was raising funds for WikiLeaks. According to the Washington Post, there was about $80,000 in the account. Mueller went on to defend the permanent closure of the account by saying the online payment site is required to comply with laws around the world. Ultimately, our difficult decision was based on a belief that the WikiLeaks website was encouraging sources to release classified material, which is likely a violation of law by the source. He continued, the letter didn't cite any specific U.S. statutes WikiLeaks was violating, by the way, you guys. Mueller's argument made no mention of organizations such as the International Tibet Network, which continues to solicit donations through PayPal, even though some of their activities almost surely violate Chinese laws. So in other words, they're picking and choosing which laws are going to be violated and which ones aren't. Moving right along. Over the past few days, other financial services, including Visa, MasterCard, and the Swiss bank Post Finance, have also suspended services to WikiLeaks and Assange. The move has prompted criticism on Twitter and elsewhere by users who point out that Visa and MasterCard still permit payments to Ku Klux Klan groups, but not to a group that so far has been charged with no crime. So again, a little bit of discrimination as far as who gets blocked and who doesn't. Distributed denial of service attacks by people sympathetic to WikiLeaks. Excuse me one second. Distributed denial of service attacks by people sympathetic to WikiLeaks soon took out MasterCard and were also reported against everydns.net, which suspended one of WikiLeaks' domain names. Amazon said WikiLeaks had failed to adhere to its terms of service. Amazon said on its website, it's clear that WikiLeaks doesn't own or otherwise control all the rights to the classified content. Further, it is not credible that the extraordinary volume of 250,000 classified documents that WikiLeaks is publishing could have been carefully redacted in such a way as to ensure that they weren't putting innocent people in jeopardy, Amazon said on its website. Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks founder, was believed to be in hiding in the southeast of England. He was wanted in Sweden over alleged sex crimes. Before I forget, this also applies to Cody Wilson, the inventor of the plastic 3D printed gun. And because that's I think that's a First Amendment issue, freedom of speech issue as well, simply because once you digitize information and upload it to the internet, it becomes bits and bytes. And information on the internet is a form of free speech because it's just bits and bytes, computer code, and anyone should be able to use a string of numbers and letters to send back and forth to each other. So when he digitized that information, and the Justice Department chimed in on this already, everyone knew full well that that became a very sticky issue. See, information, especially in its rawest form, and Andreas Antonopoulos goes on and on about this all the time, reminding you guys, me and everyone else all the time, when you digitize something, a string of letters and numbers, or bits and bytes on the internet, that is the most rawest and basic form of speech you can basically get almost, especially online, mainly because it doesn't mean anything at all until someone on the opposite end takes that information and does something with it. That's why Bitcoin is such a thorny issue, because my string of bits and bytes, 16 digits of code sent to you might be worth $10, or it might be worth $1 billion on your end. But because it is digitized information, a string of code, a string of numbers and letters, that is free speech. that is protected. That is information. Only computers really know anything about the bits and the bytes and what to do with them. We benefit from when it becomes a payment, or when it becomes a picture, or when it becomes a cat, or anything else that becomes graphic and usable on the internet, on your computer. So Cody Wilson is also facing charges, mainly because the government decided we can't get you and stop you on things that you're involved with, 3D printing of guns, and allowing others to download the blueprints and print out those guns. If we can't get you on that, we will definitely find something. So let this be a lesson to all of you guys. Use cryptocurrency as much as possible. Use it as a payment service, or alternative payment method rather, and understand that the government really wants to come after anybody who they perceive as a threat. So once we make the transition completely over to using cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, Bcash, whatever, that is going to become a major issue for the government. They will not be able to stop us from transacting with each other, supporting each other's organizations. And if we can live in the United States, we can live outside the United States, it doesn't matter. We should be able, we can travel, and our money can travel without any restrictions, because once you put your money into a Trezor wallet or a Ledger Nano wallet, or once you send it, embed it into a picture on a website, and somebody else on the other end decodes it and gets that $1 million or that $1 billion, it's impossible for us to run out of lack of funding and lack of financial resources, thus financial sovereignty. You can't lose it, you can't restrict it, you can't block it once it's gone to that level. Anyway, as we like to say at the conclusion of every podcast, you guys be safe out there and keep your eyes and ears open, and we will talk later. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.